Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Allmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And we're in week 12, our final week of my 12 weeks of handmade ideas for Christmas. And we're doing something different. I show you lots of, I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator, as you know, so I show you lots of crafts using paper and using Stampin' Up products. This last week is showing you some of the things that I do other than paper crafting. And so these are, I'll get them out, they're all sort of ready packaged to go, but they were a request. And let me just, I'm just going to get one of them out. These are for 3 of my grandchildren who wanted their names. Now, my granddaughter is called Rihanna, or one of my granddaughters is called Rihanna, and you can never find Rihanna as a name on anything. And she was like, Granny, can you make me something to go on the Christmas tree, but I want it with my name on it. So, and it's got a little bell on it, and it's tied with twine, and it's one of those little gonks. Really, really sweet, really simple. And so I made one for each one of them. So we've got Rihanna, we've got Josh for Joshua because he's the middle one and he's quite grown up as well, and they've got Reuben for the little one and his favorite color is red. So basically you can make them any color you want. You can put their names on if you've got dies and things that will stamp it out. And then all I did was I actually got some clear varnish, and I then just varnished over the top, let it dry completely because it was clear, and then it then you've got your personalized letters as well. So I thought I would show you how to make them. Very simple, really easy, and the sort of thing that we all have, scraps of wool. Now I need to, before we start, I just need to put my hot glue gun on, because the easiest way to do this, or to put it together, is with hot glue. So I'm just going to literally plug that in, switch it on, and then I know that that is heating its way up as we start doing it. So you need 2 pieces of cardstock to basically wrap round. One is 5.5 inches long, the other is 7 inches long. We need 5.5 inches for the hat, and then we just need some wool, any colour you want. Now my other granddaughter obviously wants one, so I'm going to do her one in pink as well. So if you take your one piece at the bottom and you're going to wrap it round 60 times, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Now it's bent a little bit, but it doesn't matter too much. Then we're just going to slide it off, and we can keep that for another day. And then we are going to, so this is going to come down at the bottom, so make sure that that's the same length. We are then just going to cut it down on one side like that. So it then gives us, and make sure you cut it down onto all these little bits. Okay, so you've just cut it on one side, and it then gives you 60 pieces, which are the right size that you want. Then you need a little bit of toilet roll, or a cardboard tube of any sort. Now, if you don't have any of that, just take a piece of cardstock. So you can make them any size. I've made a huge one. So if you take a piece of cardstock, and it needs to be about an inch, half an inch, 3/4 of an inch, no exact science. And all I did was staple it. So I've made one that's that size. So it's a really big hat. And you can make them teeny weeny as well. I've made a really tiny one. So this is just from a toilet roll hole, you know, the inside tube of a toilet roll. And I've cut this at about half an inch, I suppose. Is it half an inch? I think it's less than an inch. Let me have a look on my trimmer and then I can probably tell you. It is... yes, half an inch on that one. So anywhere between half an inch and an inch and a bit. And then what you need to do is, now I'm taking 2 at a time because it makes it easier. You're going to fold it in half. And then with this piece, you are going to pop it in the center. And you're going to put these 2 loops through here and just pull up. Okay, now if you do it with 2, it goes quicker. So let's put it down there so you can see it easier. So we're going to take another 2, fold them in half. With that loop piece, put your loop through, take both these ends and just put it through. And you're going to continue like that all the way round until your toilet roll is completely, or the tube is completely covered. So I'm folding it in half, popping it through, popping this piece through like this. And as I say, by doing it 2 at a time, it just makes it just a little bit thicker and goes a little bit quicker. You can do it singly, but I quite like doing it doubly because it makes it, as I say, a little bit easier to do. So let's take my ends up, pop it in, and then, as I say, we work our way all the way around. And it's really good because if you're sending these to anybody, you know, in a little set like I did with the ones that I've shown you with their names on, you can do a card using the Kindest Gnomes card if you've got that. Or we did some gnomes last year as well, which were Christmas gnomes. So, you know, I don't know about the rest of the world, but in the UK, gnomes are really, really popular, or gonks they're sometimes called, gnomes or gonks. And in all the shops now for Christmas, they're all over the place. So it makes a nice little gift to send to somebody who's who likes them. And as I say, you can make them really small, so you can make them as a little charm to go on you know, a handbag or something like that. You can make them really big. It's entirely up to you, really. It's just quite a nice fun thing to do. So we're just going to work our way through, and I don't know what you're all up to for Christmas. I'm very lucky. I have 2 sons and I have 2 daughter-in-laws and I have 6 grandchildren. So each one of my sons and daughter-in-laws have 3 children each. And so I get to spend Christmas Day with one of them and Boxing Day with the other. And we alternate it every year. So I end up with, you know, 2 lots of lovely Christmas dinners and Christmas pudding and all of the fun of Christmas on Christmas Day, and then, you know, obviously Boxing Day as well. So I'm thoroughly spoilt, and I love to, as the grandchildren get older, they don't want the little toys and things, but, you know, something that's handmade, they or that, you know, mummy and daddy can put on the tree to hang up every year is something that they all appreciate. So as I say, I'm very lucky, and then they normally all come round to me at one time during the Christmas break. But thankfully I don't have to do all the cooking and things now, that they will do it all for me. So I am thoroughly spoilt, which is lovely. And I know not everybody likes Christmas time. I know, you know, some people find it very difficult if you haven't got family that's near, and but it's something that I'm very much, I always try and keep myself busy whatever I'm doing. So I find that paper crafting and you know, I do sewing and crocheting and all sorts of fun crafts as well. I love my paper crafting. You know, I make lots of cards, as you know. But it's nice. I know that, you know, some of my friends have who are on their own and they don't have their family near actually volunteer at either old people, you know, elderly homes, or places where they will do a Christmas dinner for people who are struggling and don't get a chance to have a Christmas dinner, or they're just on their own. And that can be great fun, because you're then part of the Christmas time, but you're helping others as well. So I think that can be a nice thing to do. Or just, you know, snuggle up with the cat or the dog, or just have the you know, television on with lots of Christmas movies and things like that. I think it's a lovely time of year, and you know, it's the time of year as well where it's lovely to go to different church services and you know, have the carols and have midnight mass and just all of those lovely things that we tend to do far more of during the Christmas time than at any other time of the year. So whatever you're doing, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas time. This obviously is coming out in early December, so we've got a bit more time, but I know quite a few of you will be going away and travelling and things, so might not have a chance to see all my videos up until the new year. And obviously we've got the new catalogue coming out, which will be very exciting. As a demonstrator, I get to order mine on the 1st of December. So it means that by the time you get to see this video, hopefully the new products and the new celebration brochure will be either have arrived or be on its way. And then I will be showing you all of the lovely new things that are coming for the spring catalogue, which comes out, which obviously has lovely spring things in, also has the Easter things in, which are nice. And so yes, that's always an exciting time. I always like it when we get a new catalogue out, and again, I will always show you as many ideas as I can from each stamp set that I choose, and try and keep things, particularly this year, try and keep things as frugal as I can, you know, so that we use whatever we've got, we use the most of it, so that we can still enjoy our crafts and things, but without being overindulgent when we know that, you know, pennies are going to be quite tight this year. You know, we're in times that aren't as nice as they could be, and I know that, you know, a lot of us are have to be careful and have to make sure that our pennies last, and have to think more carefully than we might have done before. You know, before we might have gone like, oh, I'm just going to get all of the things that I really like, whereas now I think we have to be a little bit more choosy and go, okay, if I get this, am I going to use it? Can I, my rule of thumb is, can I make at least 5 cards with this, or 5 projects with it? Am I buying this because I just like the one sentiment or the one, you know, image in this stamp set, or am I going to use all of them? And if the answer is no to either of those, then, or rather, you know, yes, you know, just think about it. And again, it's almost that 5-day rule as well. You know, when your catalogues come through, and obviously anybody that shopped with me in the last 6 months will get one free, and I will post it out to you. It's the sort of thing to have a look and to go, okay, fine, right, I am going to wait for 5 days, and then I'm going to see after 5 days whether it's something that I want or not. And as I say, when it comes to 5 days, you can then turn around and go, oh yes, I am going to use this. Or you can turn around and go, actually, I don't think I really need this. I've already got one that's very similar. And then maybe, you know, not purchase that one and look at something else. You know, again, papers. Make sure that they're papers that you're going to use. I'm terrible. I've got drawer upon drawer full of designer series paper. As I say, I've been trying to use up some of the Christmas one, and I think I've made a small dent in it. I certainly haven't used a huge amount of it because I'm somebody who, I do tend to hoard my papers a bit, and I don't use papers maybe as much as I should do. Okay, now I'm just going to keep it at this time. You can, as you can see, it's not completely as thick as you could make it, but I don't want it to go on too long. So what we need to do now is we need to take our one of these pieces of string or wool, and we're going to tie it round like this. Okay, and what I tend to do is I tie it round once, then I go round to the opposite side, and I'll tie it round again because I want to try and get it as tight as I can, but I don't want to snap the wool. So I'm going to tie it round on the opposite side and then tie it up, because it then means that I can, without catching a little piece in, I can then tie it a little bit tighter on here, and then I can tie it again to give a knot so it's nice and secure. Okay, and then those pieces can just go up in on the top. Okay, now what you need to do is you need to fill it with something. So as I've got these pieces in here, I'm just going to fill it like that. But you can fill it with cotton wool. You can fill it with toy stuffing, whatever you want to do. But if you just pop these in, and you want to leave enough so that you've just filled the hat part up, but you haven't filled up the rim, because that's where we're going to be putting his beard and things in. Okay, so you can see now that his hat's a little bit long, but that's why it's quite good to make it a bit longer, because then we do some trimming. So I'm going to do this on this 5.5 piece, because we don't need to use that one again. And all we're going to do is, let's bring it down here so you can see it, just trim these round. Like this. Okay, and then you can, if you want to, is to just trim it a little bit like that. A little bit like that. You can take it as short as you want, but then when you do it, you've got your really nice little pom-pom hat. And one of the, I did this for a tutorial. I was showing some people at a local craft cafe that I go to on a weekly basis, and one of the ladies said it would be lovely to just make a whole row of little hats, and put them you know, either on some wood or whatever, like a baby's name, and put the names of the child on each one of the little hats and have them standing up in different colours. So you can do quite a lot with this. This is just an idea of doing the gnome, and you can take it how you want. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is, it's going to be 7 inches long, and you want something for a beard. Now I've got this white sparkly one, and we're going to do exactly the same as we did before. So you're going to take it to the bottom, over on the top, and you're going to wrap it round about 60 times. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. It does bend. 40, 41, 42, 43. Oh dear. 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Okay, now this is bent a bit, but again, it doesn't matter. All it's doing is making it a bit shorter. If you've got some stiff cardboard, it's easier to do it that way, or something that's that length. I've used like a paperback book before, and I've used my, my iPhone, which is about that length. You can use whatever you want. So this one, we're going to take it out, and we are going to lie it down flat like this. So we want it like that, and then we're just going to take another, excuse me, I picked my wool up from the floor because I was unraveling it down on the floor. You then just need to take another little piece, doesn't matter how long, depends how good you are at tying. So, a piece 7, 8, 12 inches long. And what you're going to do is you're going to put this through on the center of this time. So we need to tie it in the center. So make sure that you can measure it, or you can eyeball it. I tend to look and go, that's about centered. And then you just pull it in tight, and again, exactly as we did before. I tend to turn it over because I find that that's easier for me, but you need to just tie a knot. So I'm going to tie a knot in the center here, or that's going to be the second piece, because then it ties it up tighter. And then I'm just going to get this one to tie it in on the knot. Tie it in nice and tight, and again, I cannot waste these two pieces, so I'm going to take one down there, one down there, and then that makes it exactly the right size. So we then need to just find the piece in the center on here, and now we are going to cut through like we did before for the hat. Pull it tight, because if you pull it tight it will cut through easier. So that's that side. Then we need to do this side, just take it through in on the center. You can find the center bit. If it doesn't come completely in on the center, doesn't matter, because you can do it on the pieces that are over. So find that on there, and that one. Let's make sure that that's all done, which it is. There's a couple on here that haven't been done, and a couple of pieces here that are in on the center that haven't. There we go. Okay, so then we need to just put these two pieces together like this and pull it down quite tightly. Okay, so it comes like that. And then we're going to get our hot glue. So we need to put the hot glue in all the way around the inside of here. So just take your hot glue and you're just going to go in all the way around on the inside. Like that. Then you're going to take this piece and you're just going to pop it straight in like this. And then what I tend to do is I will just make sure that the hat, so if you put your finger sort of up in the center, so just make sure that it is firmly adhered all the way round. Okay. So you can see if you look at it and you think that it needs a little bit more glue, then just pop a little bit more glue in there. But you're just going to turn it around like that. And then you've got him coming down like that. Now we need a bead. So any little bead, a little pom-pom would do. I've got this bright pink bead because I think it's going to work perfectly. And you need to put a bit of glue in on just underneath where his hat is, fairly tight where his hat is. Just put a blob in, and then this is a bead with a hole in it, so I'm just taking it so that it goes in like that, and then I'm just popping it in, and I want it to sit in a little bit like that, so you've then got your little nose coming through. And then with these pieces we need to trim it, so the best thing to do is to, I've got another one that I didn't quite catch on there, and maybe another one, there we go, and there's one there. So you will find sometimes that you have little bits that you haven't quite cut through, but fan him out. And then literally you want to cut through so that it comes nice and straight. So I'm just making sure that it comes, and it comes through in a sort of crescent moon. So you want to cut it through like this. My scissors aren't the sharpest actually, I should have got my paper snips. Okay, so on that side, and then you're going to do exactly the same thing round on the other side. So take it round, just trimming it up because then it becomes nice and even. Like that. And then if you take it up, you're not going to be able to see this, and I hold it, I can see if there's any little pieces that just need trimming off a bit on here. So I'm going to turn him around the other side and make sure that those are fairly even, which they are. So I can now put him down like that. And then we need to give him a bit of a beard. So if we take just a few little strands, and it'll give him his sort of whiskers, and just cut that about halfway down, and cut this one, and then just work it round so that he's got just some little whiskers. You don't want to do too many because otherwise he'll look a bit thin if you take it through to the other side, but you just want to do a few little pieces just on the top that just give him a little bit of a beard at the front. So I just want to take a couple of just at the top. I don't want too many. Like that, and then I'll have maybe just a couple in on here. So I'm just pulling them so they're the ones that are at the top. Like that. There we are, and then you've got his little beard coming through, or her little beard, or as I say, I've done the pink one because as I say I've got I've got 3 granddaughters and 3 grandsons, and the granddaughters all love pink, as I think most young girls do. So then all you need to do is to take another piece of twine or string, and I tend to do it the same colour, but it doesn't really matter, and you're just going to tie it round on here, and then that'll give you your you know, piece for hanging it up if you want to hang it. So let me just do this with this wool. So I'm just going to take a piece which is about, oh, I don't know, 6-7 inches, something like that, and I'm going to just take it round where the top of the hat is. You can sew it round if you want to, but it's quite easier to do it like this. Just tie it through like that, and then you've got it so that it'll hang up. If you just do take these 2 pieces, take them up and just tie it through like this in a knot, and then we can just trim that little knot up just a little bit like that. So there we are, we've got this rather cute little gnome, and as I say, you can make them any size you want. So you can make them from really tiny weeny little ones to great big huge ones. It's entirely up to you, but a fun thing, doesn't take very long, very simple supplies. Everybody has some wool of some sort, so hope you enjoyed that and have fun with them. As always, please stay safe and well, please be kind, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye bye.